Downingtown Middle School students. This is Dr. Indeglio with a quick message to get us started before the day begins. In just a few short minutes, you will begin the most unique and certainly the most interesting year in the history of not only your school careers, but all of your teachers and staff at Downingtown Middle School as well. I want to quickly remind you of our school-wide PBIS system motto, which is be respectful, be responsible, and be resourceful. I'm delivering that message from my favorite place in the world, a place that taught me to do all three of those things. And that's my gym. This is where I actually do my workouts and do my best thinking. First, be respectful. Be respectful of yourself, be respectful of your teachers, take care of one another, and treat them the way you would want to be treated. Being responsible. Do your very best to follow the schedule, get to your Zooms on time, do the work, and when you have questions, ask for help, which leads us to being resourceful. More than any of the three characteristics this year, being resourceful is going to be one of the most important. There's information everywhere right now. I'm overloaded. I can hardly keep up. Your teachers can hardly keep up. And I know you and your families are having trouble keeping up as well. So keep checking Schoology, keep emailing and asking for help, ask your teachers for help, ask your guidance counselors for help. Use your resources to be resourceful. Finally, our motto, either you run the day or the day runs you. Take care of the things you can control and let go of the things that you can't. We're going to make this the best year ever at Downingtown Middle School. If you need any assistance, we are here for you, and good luck at your first period Zoom today.
Hi Lancers, this is Mrs. Brown, the 7th grade principal, and I'm going to cover the Zoom meeting expectations for when you visit your virtual classes. As you can see on the screen, I'm going to cover 5 things and a couple extras. I'm going to cover some information about the microphone, some comments on etiquette, how you will contribute to your classes, some sound suggestions, and questions during your classes. These 3 right here have a lot to do with each other, so I'm going to start here with the microphone because this is the one thing that kind of ties it all together. You need to know that the microphone by default will be muted when you enter your classes. If for some reason you discover that when you enter a class it's not, we ask that you mute it. That really helps in eliminating background noise, so your teacher can get started right away, and then they can start to share their expectations in relationship to how they would like you to contribute to class and how they would like you to ask questions in class. You'll notice that underneath the contributions piece, it does mention the chat box and the raise hand button. Those will be functions that your teachers will explain to you for their individual classes. So it's very possible that that expectation may vary from class to class as we go along here. But for the most part, you will find that you are muted when you enter, and a lot of these other functions may be also disabled. And they'll explain all that when you attend their classes. Something very important is the sound. You want to make sure that you can hear everything that's going on in your class. So we suggest, if you have some, to wear some headphones. It helps you hear better, it helps you focus better, it eliminates distractions, and if your house is like mine, you have a lot going on. You may have siblings that are also schooling from home, you may have adults working from home, or you may have pets like I do that can be very noisy and distracting at times. So if you have some headphones, you can pop those in during your class. So this piece right here, etiquette, I think it goes without saying because I know that all of you are like this in person, that it wouldn't happen any differently in a virtual setting. So when we talk about etiquette, we're really just saying that the way that you conduct yourselves in person in Downingtown Middle School or in a classroom where you're always polite and respectful and you're paying attention to your teacher and your classmates, we expect that to continue in the virtual setting. You have an additional layer this year as we start, and that's using Zoom. So as your teachers may free up some of the functionality of some of the functions in Zoom. We just want to make sure that you're using those features appropriately. So if at any time during the marking period, your teachers allow you to unmute yourselves to participate, we expect that you're doing that appropriately. Something that's not listed here, but is an expectation, is your backgrounds and your still photos. So when you log on to Zoom, before you get to turn your video on, it's either a black screen with just your first and last name, or you have a choice of creating a picture of you. So we ask that both your backgrounds and that picture, your Zoom picture, is appropriate, and that the name that you display when your video is not rolling includes your first and last name. And that'll be very important as we begin the school year, because our teachers and us are just learning who everyone is. So that's going to be really key. So I think that you have all of the expectations outlined here for you, and I expect nothing but great things and great conduct during virtual meetings, and I wish you all the best in this very unusual start of the school year, but I have no doubt that you are all going to be successful. I wish you all the best.
Hello, Lancers. My name is Dr. Farrell. I want to welcome all the 7th graders that will be joining us for the first time, and welcome back to the 8th graders. And of course, welcome to all the new students to the Downingtown Area School District. This year, I'll be serving as the 8th grade principal, and I'll also be serving as the athletic director. Athletics are going to look different this year, so be on the lookout for messages in Schoology from coaches about upcoming meetings. There will definitely be a meeting on September 14th with details about an alternative season. Counselors are assigned by last name in our school. So if your last name begins with A to H-A-L, your counselor is Mr. Shirley. If your last name begins with H-A-M to P-E-T, your counselor is Miss Lyman. If your last name begins with P-E-U to Z, then your counselor is Miss Whitmer. We all want to remind you to make sure that you're constantly taking attendance each day, both in the synchronous and asynchronous format, as outlined by your teacher. We know that things are different, but we look forward to a great year. Please let us know if you need anything, and we look forward to seeing you soon on Zoom and soon in person.
Hi, students and staff at Downingtown Middle School. DMS, what's up? This is Vince Papali, formerly Philadelphia Eagle, and I don't know if you're a moviegoer and a Disney fan, but there was a movie out there that's actually going to be celebrating its 14th anniversary this week, and it's called Invincible. And you know what Invincible is about? It's about you. It's about everybody there at DMS. Now, I know a little bit about middle school students, but I don't know a lot about this virtual training stuff and virtual schooling. And if I were, I'd be a little bit nervous about it. I don't know if you are, but, there's the uncertainty of what tomorrow's going to bring. And it's just really been wild, an absolute mess with what's been going on for the last few months. But, Invincible's about the dream, right? And it's about the dreams that you have to go to the next level. And I say, I know a little bit about what you're going through because I taught middle school, believe it or not, for 6 years before I started playing in the NFL and had that dream come true. And so I know a little bit about what you're feeling and the anxiety that you might have, which is okay. It's okay to be anxious, but you know what? The thing is don't let that anxiety control you. Either you run the day or the day runs you. I know that's your motto, and you really need to stick to it. And there's this really great motto that my coach had. He said, life's an audible. You have to be able to adjust and do different things, and it's going to be so tough to do that. Not being in school together, a lot of sports are canceled. Would have crushed me as a student if my sports were canceled. I wouldn't have known how to handle it. So it's unknown territory, but you run the day. You run the day. You take control. You've got a great staff. You've got great teachers there that are in there with you, feeling that same anxiety, but also you all have that same dream that you can do this together. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. So DMS, Downingtown Middle School, you can do anything you want because you know why? Because you're invincible. And don't be afraid to dream. takes the price to be paid to do it. We're paying the price right now, but you know what? Together as a team, we can get through it. Come on, Downingtown Middle School. You know you can do it because you're invincible.